Welcome back to Old Glory Coins, another exciting episode where we uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change. Have you ever found a 1975 Lincoln penny and just tossed it aside, thinking it was worthless? Well, let me tell you, you might have just let go of a small fortune. Because believe it or not, a rare variety of this penny has sold for an astonishing $113,000. That's right, $113,000. But what makes this penny so valuable? Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into the history, minting process, errors, and the jaw-dropping value of the 1975 Lincoln penny. You don't want to miss this. Before we get into what makes some of these 1975 pennies worth a fortune, let's talk a little bit about their history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of Lady Liberty. By 1975, the penny had already undergone some changes. The design, created by Victor D. Brenner, had remained mostly the same, with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. Now, let's talk about how the 1975 Lincoln penny was produced. These coins were minted in three locations: Philadelphia, which had no mint mark, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. The composition of the penny at the time was 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. Each coin weighed about 3.11 grams and had a diameter of 19 millimeters. In total, the U.S. Mint produced over 5 billion of these pennies across all three locations. But here's where things get interesting. Now, most 1975 pennies are only worth face value, just 1 cent. But there are rare varieties that can make them extremely valuable to collectors. Let's go over some key errors and special varieties that could be worth big bucks. One of the most sought-after errors in any coin series is the double die. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, causing letters, numbers, or images to appear doubled. If you find a 1975 penny with clear doubling on Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another cool error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned in the press, leading to an uneven design. A 10 to 15% off-center strike might be worth a few bucks, but if you find a 50% off-center strike with a visible date, it could be worth several $100s. Now, this is where things get crazy. A rare 1975 Lincoln proof penny from the San Francisco Mint was struck without the S mint mark. These are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. If you find one, you could be sitting on a coin worth thousands. Now, let's talk about the big one, the 1975 penny that sold for an unbelievable $113,000. What made this coin so special? Well, it was an ultra-rare proof coin with a unique minting error. It was a 1975 no-S proof Lincoln cent, and because only a handful of these coins were ever made, collectors went crazy trying to get their hands on one. At an auction, one of these ultra-rare pennies fetched an astounding $113,000. Imagine that, turning a single penny into a six-figure payday. So, how can you check if your 1975 Lincoln penny is valuable? Here are some simple steps to follow. Look at the mint mark. If you have a proof penny with no S mint mark, get it authenticated immediately. Check for doubling. Use a magnifying glass to examine the letters and numbers for any doubling effects. Weigh your penny. A standard 1975 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's significantly off, you may have a rare error coin. Inspect for off-center strikes and other errors. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. Get it graded. If you believe you have a rare 1975 penny, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. So there you have it, folks. The 1975 Lincoln penny might seem like just another old coin, but if you know what to look for, it could be worth life-changing money. If you have a stash of old pennies lying around, it's time to check them. Who knows? You might be sitting on a hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. And if you've ever found a rare penny, tell us in the comments below, we'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy hunting. Today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing coin discoveries in recent history. Can you imagine finding a tiny, ordinary penny in your pocket that could actually be worth a life-changing $172,000? Well, guess what? It's possible. We're talking about the 1976 Lincoln penny, a small but mighty coin that has shocked the numismatic world with its incredible value. But why is this coin worth so much? What makes it special? And most importantly, could you have one sitting in your coin jar right now? Stay tuned, because we're going to reveal everything you need to know. Before we get into the rarest and most valuable versions of this coin, let's take a trip back in time to understand its origins and why the 1976 penny is such an interesting piece of American history. The 1976 Lincoln penny was minted during a fascinating time in U.S. history. 1976 was the bicentennial year of the United States, marking 200 years since the Declaration of Independence. Although special bicentennial coins were issued for quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, the humble Lincoln penny did not receive a commemorative design, but that doesn't mean it's not special. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. By 1976, the design had remained largely unchanged, featuring Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, certain factors make some 1976 pennies extremely valuable today, sometimes reaching up to $172,000. Now, you might be wondering, what separates an ordinary 1976 penny from one that can sell for a fortune? It all comes down to a few key factors: rarity, errors, condition, and metal composition. Some 1976 pennies were struck with errors or on different planchets, making them highly sought after by collectors. The rarest of all are those accidentally struck on silver or aluminum planchets. These mistakes happened and the U.S. Mint experimented with different metals during a period of rising copper prices. If you find a 1976 penny that doesn't look quite right, maybe it's much lighter in weight or has a silvery appearance, you could be holding a fortune. The most valuable examples have been known to sell for thousands, with one particular piece fetching a staggering $172,000 at auction. Error coins are another reason why 1976 pennies can be worth huge sums. Some of the most valuable errors include double dies, where the text or design appears double due to a misalignment in the minting process. Off-center strikes, when the design is not centered on the coin, creating a unique and rare look. Wrong planchet errors, when a penny is mistakenly struck on a foreign coin planchet or even a dime planchet. These error coins are incredibly rare, but if you're lucky enough to spot one, you could be looking at a payday worth thousands of dollars. Even if your 1976 penny isn't an error coin, it could still be valuable if it's in pristine condition. Coin collectors and investors use the Sheldon grading scale to determine a coin's quality. A grade of MS 67 or higher can significantly increase a penny's value. For example, a 1976 Lincoln penny in near-perfect condition once sold for over $10,000. Alright, now that we've covered what makes a 1976 penny valuable, here's what you can do to check if you have a hidden treasure. Check the date and mint mark. Look for 1976 pennies from the Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, mints. Weigh your coin. A standard 1976 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's significantly lighter, it could be a rare aluminum strike. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, off-center strikes, or missing details. Assess the condition. If your penny looks brand new, consider getting it professionally graded. If you think you have a rare 1976 penny, take it to a certified coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. So there you have it. A simple penny from 1976 could be worth a fortune if you know what to look for. Who knows? The next time you go through your loose change, you might just strike gold, well, copper. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And if you've ever found a rare penny, tell us in the comments below, we'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden treasures of the 1978 Lincoln penny. Stick around, because you might just have a fortune sitting in your coin jar. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin replaced the Indian head penny and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Fast forward to 1978, and the Lincoln penny was still going strong. It was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. But what makes this year so special? Why are some 1978 pennies worth a fortune? Let's find out. By 1978, the Lincoln penny was still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc/tin. This was before the U.S. Mint switched to a mostly zinc composition in 1982. The weight of these pennies is 3.11 grams, and they have a diameter of 19.05 mm. One unique feature of the Lincoln penny is the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. If you look closely, you can actually see a tiny engraving of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial. It's a fascinating detail that many collectors appreciate. Now, let's talk money. While most 1978 pennies are only worth face value, there are rare errors and high-quality specimens that sell for thousands at auctions. The most valuable 1978 penny ever sold went for a whopping $139,000. But why? Let's break it down. Here are the key factors that make a 1978 penny valuable: mint errors. Some pennies have errors like double die obverse, DDO, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. These mistakes happen during minting and make the coin unique and highly collectible. High-grade condition. Coins graded MS 67 or higher, mint state, can fetch big money because they are in near-perfect condition. Most circulated pennies are heavily worn, but if you find an uncirculated 1978 penny, you could be sitting on a goldmine. Full red coloration. Copper coins naturally darken over time, but those with their original red luster, designated as RD by grading companies, are much rarer and more valuable. So what's the story behind the $139,000 penny? This ultra-rare 1978 Lincoln penny was graded MS 67 plus RD by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, making it one of the finest known examples. It was sold at auction for an astounding 6-figure price, proving that even modern pennies can be worth a fortune. Imagine finding a penny like this in your piggy bank. It goes to show that keeping an eye on your change can literally pay off. Want to check if you have a valuable 1978 penny? Here's what you need to do: look for a mint mark. If it has a D or S mark, it was made in Denver or San Francisco. No mint mark? That means it's from Philadelphia. Examine the coin under a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the date or letters, which indicates a double die error. Check the color. The redder the penny, the more valuable it might be. Weigh the coin. A genuine 1978 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's drastically different, you might have an error coin. Get it graded. Send your coin to PCGS or NGC for a professional evaluation. So, there you have it. The 1978 Lincoln penny might just be hiding in your collection, waiting to make you rich. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, always check your change, because treasure could be right in your hands. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin hunting tips. And let me know in the comments, what's the rarest coin you've ever found? Until next time, happy coin hunting, hunters! Have you ever picked up a 1979 D Lincoln penny and thought, meh, it's just a regular penny? Well, think again. Because this little copper beauty could be worth big money. We're talking hundreds, even thousands of dollars. In this video, we'll dive deep into the history, the rare errors, and the shocking values of the 1979 D Lincoln penny. And by the end of this video, you just might be checking your piggy bank. So stick around, hit that like button, and let's get into it. First, let's talk history. The Lincoln penny has been an iconic piece of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the legendary 16th President, Abraham Lincoln. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse and, originally, 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. But in 1959, the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This was to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. And from then until 2008, the memorial design remained on the penny, making the 1979 D penny part of a long and rich history. Now, by 1979, pennies were still being made with 95% copper and 5% zinc, but just a few years later in 1982, the U.S. Mint made the switch to a copper-plated zinc composition due to rising copper costs. So, every 1979 D Lincoln penny you find today still contains mostly copper, making it heavier and more valuable in melt value than modern pennies. But here's where it gets really interesting. If you're just looking at face value, a 1979 D penny is, of course, just 1 cent. But certain rare varieties and errors can turn this ordinary penny into a small fortune. Let's go over the most valuable ones you should be searching for. First up, we have the double die error. This happens when the die used to stamp the penny shifts slightly, creating a doubling effect on some letters and numbers. The most common places to spot this error are the date, 1979, the word, liberty, and, in God we trust. While most double-die 1979 D pennies are minor, if you happen to find a strong doubling effect, you could be looking at a coin worth $200 to over $1,000. Always use a magnifying glass or coin loop to check your pennies closely. Next, we have the OFF center strike. This occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned during the striking process, resulting in part of the design being cut off. The more off-center it is, the more valuable. A 1979 D Lincoln penny that is about 50% off-center but still shows the full date and mint mark can sell for anywhere from $200 to several $1,000s, depending on how rare it is. Another valuable error is the clipped planchet. This happens when the metal sheet used to create the coin isn't cut properly, resulting in a coin with a missing chunk. A well-defined clipped planchet 1979 D penny can fetch $200 or more depending on the size and shape of the clip. Then, there's the broad-struck error. This happens when a penny is struck without the collar that shapes its edges, causing it to spread out and look wider than normal. These errors can range in value from $200 to several $1,000s, depending on the condition and rarity. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you find one of these valuable pennies? Well, the first step is simple: start looking. You can check your pocket change, old piggy banks, and even ask family members if they have old pennies lying around. Here's a quick guide to what you need to check: use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for errors. Look for doubling in the date and lettering, check for off-center strikes and unusual shapes, weigh the penny. A 1979 D should weigh 3.11 grams, anything different might indicate an error. If you think you have a rare penny, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate its value. So, next time you see a 1979 D Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside, look closely. You might be holding a rare error worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. Whether you're a coin collector or just someone looking for hidden treasures in everyday change, this is one penny you don't want to overlook. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure hunting tips, and let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you have ever found? Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. where we uncover hidden treasures lurking in your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting discoveries in the world of coin collecting, the legendary 1982 D. Lincoln penny. This tiny 1-cent coin could be worth a staggering $230,000. Yes, you heard that right, just a humble penny, but one with a secret that makes it worth thousands. Stay tuned because we're about to break down everything you need to know about this incredible coin, how to identify it, and why it's so valuable. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more money-making discoveries. Before we jump into the jaw-dropping value of this coin, let's take a look at its history. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, the design has evolved, but in 1982, something big happened. The composition of the penny changed. For most of the 20th century, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. But rising copper prices forced the U.S. Mint to look for a cheaper alternative. That's when they introduced the new zinc core penny with a thin copper plating. These changes weren't instant, and during 1982, both the copper and zinc pennies were produced. This mix-up led to one of the rarest errors in modern numismatics, the 1982 D small date copper penny. And that is the coin that could make you rich. So what makes the 1982 D small date copper penny worth an eye-popping $230,000? Well, it all comes down to a minting error. While the U.S. Mint intended to strike 1982 D pennies in zinc, a small batch was mistakenly struck using the older solid copper planchets. That means this rare variety of pennies shouldn't even exist, making them highly sought after by collectors. But the real question is, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable pennies? Because if you do, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now, let's get into the step-by-step method to identify this rare coin. Grab your penny jars because you're going to want to check every 1982 penny you own. Look for the small date variety. The 8 in 1982 should have a slimmer shape and align perfectly with the 2. The 2 should have a more delicate and straight appearance rather than a curvy, thick design. Make sure your coin has the D mint mark below the date, indicating it was minted in Denver. This is the biggest test. The rare copper version of this coin weighs 3.11 grams, while the more common zinc version weighs 2.5 grams. Use a sensitive digital scale to get an accurate weight. If your 1982 D small date penny weighs 3.11 grams, congratulations. You may have hit the jackpot. Now, let's talk about the most thrilling part. How much money can you actually get for this coin? In 2016, a 1982 D small date copper penny was sold at auction for an astonishing $18,800. But the real shocker came in 2022, when another specimen was auctioned off for a record-breaking $230,000. Why are collectors willing to pay such an insane amount for a penny? It's all about rarity and demand. There are believed to be only a handful of these pennies in existence, which makes them one of the rarest modern coins in circulation. If you're lucky enough to find one, experts recommend getting it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity and boost its auction value. Now, you might be wondering, where can you actually find one of these rare pennies? Here's where to start your treasure hunt. Coin rolls from banks. Ask your local bank for penny rolls and start searching. Pocket change. You never know when one might turn up in everyday transactions. Old jars and piggy banks. Check those jars of spare change collecting dust at home. Estate sales and flea markets. Sometimes, old coin collections end up in unexpected places. So, start looking today. You never know, you might just be holding a $230,000 treasure without even realizing it. That's it for today's video, but before you go, I have one more question for you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another opportunity to make big money from small change. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Today, we have an exciting topic, the 1985 Lincoln penny. Now, at first glance, this might seem like just another common coin you'd find in your spare change. But hold on. Some versions of this coin are worth big money, and in this video, I'll tell you exactly what makes them valuable, how to identify them, and how much they can sell for. So stay tuned until the end, you don't want to miss this. Before we get into the jaw-dropping values of certain 1985 pennies, let's take a little trip down memory lane. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, this coin has seen several design changes and composition adjustments. It all started with the famous 1909 VDB penny, designed by Victor David Brenner. Fast forward to 1985, and the Lincoln penny still carried the same iconic portrait, but with some important differences in its composition and minting process. Did you know that just a few years before 1985, in 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the penny? Prior to that, pennies were made of 95% copper. But in 1982, due to rising metal costs, they switched to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. This means that if you have a 1985 penny, it's most likely made of copper-plated zinc. But what does this have to do with value? Stick with me. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the 1985 pennies that are worth big bucks. There are a few varieties and errors that can make these coins extremely valuable. First up, the double die obverse. This is one of the most sought-after varieties among collectors. A double die occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing noticeable doubling in the text or image. If you have a 1985 Lincoln penny with clear doubling, especially on the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," you could be looking at a coin worth serious money. Some of these have been known to sell for over $1,000, and in pristine condition, even higher. Another factor that can make a 1985 penny valuable is its condition. Coins graded MS 67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. A recent auction saw a high-quality 1985 penny sell for around $1,500. That's right, 1 cent turned into $1,500. Let's talk errors, because error coins are where the real money is. One of the biggest error varieties for the 1985 Lincoln penny is the off-center strike. If you have a penny that looks like it was struck off-center, leaving part of the design cut off, it could be worth over $150 or more. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. Another exciting error to look for is the clipped planchet. This happens when a part of the coin is missing due to a mistake during production. If you find a 1985 penny with a clipped edge, it could bring in a nice premium, sometimes well over $200. Now that you know what to look for, how do you cash in? First, you'll need a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Carefully inspect your 1985 pennies for doubling, errors, or any unusual features. If you think you have a valuable one, consider getting it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. And when it comes to selling, your best bet is to list your coin on platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Stax Bowers. You can also check with local coin dealers, but remember, auctions tend to fetch the highest prices, especially for rare varieties. So, there you have it. The 1985 Lincoln penny might seem like just another common coin, but with the right errors or in top condition, it could be worth $150, thousands, or even more. Make sure to check your change, you never know when you might find a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to channel name. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare penny in your pocket? I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. Collectors, treasure hunters, and lucky pocket change finders, today we are diving deep into an unbelievable story of an ordinary coin hiding an extraordinary value. Have you ever checked your spare change and wondered if you might be holding a small fortune? Well, today's topic will shock you. We are talking about the 2014 Lincoln penny, a coin you might think is worth just 1 cent, but in reality, one rare version of this penny has sold for an unbelievable sum of $159,000. Yes, you heard that right, $159,000. Stay with me until the very end to find out why this modern-day penny is so valuable and how you can identify one in your own collection. Before we jump into the amazing 2014 penny, let's take a moment to understand the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909 when it replaced the Indian head cent. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of America's 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, and was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The original design included the famous side profile of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. Then, in 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat design with the Lincoln Memorial, which remained the standard reverse design for 50 years. In 2010, the U.S. Mint introduced a new reverse design, the Union Shield, which remains on Lincoln pennies today. This design symbolizes unity and strength, paying homage to Lincoln's efforts in preserving the United States during the Civil War. The Shield penny, including the 2014 edition, might seem like just another common coin, but as you'll soon find out, some of these pennies are worth far more than face value. Now, let's talk about the incredible 2014 Lincoln penny that shook the coin collecting world. What makes this penny worth an astounding $159,000? The secret lies in rare mint errors and special varieties that make collectors go wild. The 2014 penny, like all modern pennies, was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these pennies are made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, weighing about 2.5 grams. However, some rare specimens were mistakenly struck on bronze planchets, a material no longer used for pennies after 1982. These mint errors are exceptionally rare and highly sought after. The 2014 Lincoln penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $159,000 was one of these ultra-rare errors. It was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard zinc-coated planchet. This makes the coin significantly heavier, at around 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams. Additionally, this penny was preserved in exceptional condition, receiving a high grade from professional coin grading services. In the numismatic world, rarity, condition, and errors all contribute to a coin's value, and this 2014 bronze penny checked every single box. Alright, now for the part you've all been waiting for. How can you find one of these valuable pennies? Here's what you need to do: check the weight. If you have a small digital scale, weigh your 2014 pennies. A normal zinc penny should weigh 2.5 grams, but if your penny weighs 3.11 grams, you might have a rare bronze planchet penny. Inspect the color. Bronze pennies have a distinct reddish-brown hue compared to the shinier, lighter zinc pennies. If your penny looks different, get it checked. Look for errors. Some 2014 pennies might also have other mint errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or missing elements. These errors can also increase the value of your coin significantly. Get it certified. If you believe you have a rare 2014 penny, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which is crucial for determining its true market value. Now, you might be wondering, what are the chances of finding a rare penny like this? Well, believe it or not, many valuable coins have been found in everyday pocket change. People often overlook pennies, but hidden treasures are out there. Always check your change from the grocery store, vending machines, and even old piggy banks. You never know when you might stumble upon a $159,000 penny hiding in plain sight. If you're fascinated by valuable pennies, here are a few more you should keep an eye out for. 1943 copper penny, worth over $200,000 because it was mistakenly struck in copper instead of steel. 1955 double die penny, famous for its doubled lettering, valued at thousands of dollars. 1969 double die penny, another incredible error worth tens of thousands of dollars. 1992 close AM penny, a rare variety where the A and M in America are close together, fetching high prices. So there you have it, the 2014 Lincoln penny, a coin you might think is just worth 1 cent but could actually be worth an astonishing $159,000. Who would have thought that a simple penny could be so valuable? The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and new discoveries are made all the time. So, next time you come across a penny, take a closer look, it might just change your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin collecting content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, comment below, have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Let's discuss in the comments. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting. Could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's right. Some rare 2015 pennies have sold for big money, up to $500, $1,000, and even several $1,000s. If you have any pennies from 2015 in your pocket, purse, or coin jar, don't spend them just yet. Because today, we're diving deep into what makes some of these modern pennies so valuable. We'll break down the history, key errors, and special varieties that make some of these pennies ultra valuable. Stay tuned, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for when searching through your change. Before we jump into the big money coins, let's quickly go over the history of the 2015 Lincoln penny. This penny is part of the ongoing Lincoln Cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, marking the first time a U.S. coin featured a real historical figure. The 2015 penny features the same iconic Abraham Lincoln portrait by Victor David Brenner, which has remained on U.S. pennies for over a century. However, unlike older designs, the reverse side, back of the coin, showcases a bold shield design, symbolizing Lincoln's role in preserving the Union during the Civil War. Now, here's where things get very interesting. Not all 2015 pennies are worth just a cent. Some rare error coins have been found, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks for them. Let's go over the key ones you should be searching for. First up, we have the 2015 double die obverse, DDO, penny. This error happens when the coin is struck improperly, causing parts of the design to appear doubled, especially on Lincoln's eye, lips, or the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. A collector recently paid over $500 for a well-preserved 2015 penny with a strong doubling effect. So, if you find one, hold on to it. Next, we have off-center struck pennies. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned with the dies, causing part of the design to be missing. The more off-center it is, the more valuable it can be. Some extreme off-center 2015 pennies have sold for over $1,000. Ever seen a penny that looks a little weird, like it's stretched or missing its rim? That's a broad strike error. When a coin is struck without the retaining collar, it spreads out wider than normal. A broad-struck 2015 penny in great condition has been valued at several $100s. Some pennies have small raised lines on their surface due to cracks in the die. These die cracks or cuds can make a 2015 penny much more collectible, depending on the size and location of the error. The larger and more noticeable the crack, the more it could be worth, sometimes up to $500. Now that you know what to look for, here's how you can hunt down these valuable pennies. Check your change. Always inspect the pennies you receive in everyday transactions. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. This helps you spot tiny errors like doubling or die cracks. Look through coin rolls from the bank. You can get rolls of pennies for face value and search for rare varieties. Visit coin shows or online marketplaces. Sometimes, you can find underpriced error coins from people who don't realize their value. Found a valuable 2015 penny? Here's how to sell it for top dollar. Get it authenticated. If your penny has a rare error, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity. Check recent auction prices. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Great Collections show what similar coins have sold for, listed on trusted marketplaces, eBay, Facebook coin groups, And online coin dealer websites are great places to sell. Be patient. If you have a rare coin, don't rush to sell it cheap. The right buyer might be willing to pay thousands of dollars, so, there you have it. The 2015 Lincoln penny might be one of the most overlooked coins in circulation, but as you've seen today, some of them can be worth up to thousands of dollars, so next time you find a 2015 penny, don't ignore it. Check for those rare errors, and you might just have a small fortune in your hands. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome coin videos. And don't forget to share this with your friends, because who knows? They might be carrying a rare penny worth big bucks right now.